Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special Snot Your Average, not your average St. Patrick's Day live stream. I am Clifton. I am ready to go. I am wearing my Irish Whiskey Makes Me Frisky shirt, which I bought at Party City last year, and I've only wore once, which was last St. Patrick's Day. So I thought I'd bring it out again tonight since we are drinking Irish whiskey and American whiskey with an Irish twist. So I thought tonight would be all about whiskeys that you don't typically see at an Irish whiskey live stream. So I'm sure some of you have been watching people do Irish whiskey all day. I know Aqua Vitae. Is it Aqua Vitae? Aqua V? I don't know how to pronounce the name. The most amazing, incredible whiskey tuber, the OG whiskey tuber, was live earlier. Ken from Scotch Down Under was live. Perry was on, of course. So I'm sure many of you have been drinking Irish whiskey all day. So I thought today we would do a little bit of a different type of whiskey, Irish whiskey live stream, because all these whiskeys are very unique. So I'm very, very excited to get into these. First of all, I want to give some shout outs to people here in the chat. I saw Tammy was partying earlier. She said she's not sure she can make it tonight, but happy St. Patrick's Day. And she's coming in with the first super chat of the night. Thank you so much, Tammy. She says, from the south he came, to the west he lands. He's the one-armed beast, Cliffy man, Cliffy man. I love you, Tammy. Sorry, you probably are already asleep by now, or at least Brian's probably asleep, honestly. Let's be real. Livewire Whiskey says, I hope Cliffy shows up. Well, we'll see. We got 5 whiskeys to drink tonight, so most likely, yeah. Brandon is here in the chat. Is the Cliffy bus behind schedule? A little bit. Cliffy bus was a little late, but I had to get that intro ready for you. So actually, funny thing is, I think my audio might be a little loud. I'm gonna check. Is that a little better? I think I was like shouting at you guys. I apologize. So that intro, I lost the project for it that I created last year, and I've looked all over. So I literally had to go download my stream from last year and then just like chop the beginning off. And that's what you just saw right there. That was what Cliffy was doing in the final stretch there. Whiskey Mountains in the house. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you too. Hope you're doing well. Adriana, go check out her channel. Scott Pigsley's in the house as well. Scott Pigsley also started a new channel today, or recently too. Go check it out. It's like fifth quarter tailgate. Is that right, Scott? Something like that. Let's see. Cohen's in the house. What's up, Cohen? Good to see you. Cheers as well to you, Nick. Hope you're doing well this evening. Slapshot's also in the house. Emily Chambers is here. Emily, good to see you. I saw you in someone's chat earlier, and you said you'd be back for mine, so I'm glad you made it back. Donald Rance, the Irish Whiskey Yoda, is here. Good evening, folks. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Bring on the Irish whiskey. Yeah, don't worry, Donald. I'm sure you're on everyone's streams tonight, so I made sure to, this is all me. I'm probably going to screw some things up, some facts up, but I'm looking forward to it. Sorry you didn't see the intro. Well, people watching the replay will see the intro. Also, first of all, before we get into any of this whiskey, let's all raise a glass to our friend Lil. She is going in for her final round of treatment. She still has some follow-up things after that, but this is her final big round of treatment. Y'all raise a glass for Lil. I don't have anything in my glass yet. So I'm going to go ahead and get my first pour of the night poured, which is Jameson Orange. I'm very interested to see how this is. So this is the first impressions. Have not tried this yet. I wanted to do my first impressions live for you guys. So I'm going to get this in the glass. And we're going to raise a glass to our friend Lil for being the amazing person that she is. And hopefully a speedy recovery. And she's tired. She's done with this stuff forever. So cheers to Lil. I'm sorry that I'm cheersing you with orange flavored Jameson, by the way, which is what Jameson Orange is. It's literally just orange flavored Jameson. But we're going to see how it is, because I've been really curious since this came out. So sláinte Lil. Let's sláinte Lil. That's hard to say. Sláinte. Oh, on the nose. That's orangey, all right. Cheers. Okay. So I was over on Whiskey Eyes last night, and they gave me a little bit of a heads up, and this is kind of like a bitter orange taste in this. And that's absolutely it. I saw Don was asking, is it 30%? It is 30%. So it's 10% lower, so 60 proof, which is a little disappointing. Flavored whiskey always comes in at the lower proof, it seems. I think that their target audience for this are not whiskey drinkers, which is why they suggested a cocktail. They suggested it in a lemonade with an orange wedge as a cocktail. So Cliffy had to get this started. So this is just the lemonade. I'm gonna add this orange into there just to see how this cocktail is. Let's see if it does better in a cocktail. Oh, I probably put way too much whiskey, but Cliffy's coming out tonight. Could be worse, though. It could be worse. Oh yeah, Scott's dropping his channel. Yeah, y'all go check him out. So let me just. I gotta have like an orange wedge in there that I kind of like muddled a little down the bottom. This is lemonade, fresh from Starbucks. So all right, we got the Jameson in there. Got the lemonade and the orange wedge. So this is the Jameson. This is the lemonade they recommended on their website. So let's see if it does better in lemonade. Cheers. Ooh, that's nice. That's really nice. Honestly, that's the way to go. I saw some people in the chat saying do it over ice. I think as a neat pour, while interesting, I don't necessarily think that Jameson Orange was meant to be sipped on the way that we typically sip on whiskey. I think this is meant to be either a shot or in a cocktail, and it holds up great in a cocktail. Honestly, something's a little. I would either go like half and half with this and the lemonade because it's only 30%, right? You can booze it up a bit, but yeah, maybe I would even add a little bit more of like regular Jameson in there as well, just to up the proof a bit. But yeah, as a cocktail, that's fantastic. But neat. Smells nice. It's definitely that bitter orange. Not like a sweet like. I was worried that it was going to be like y'all know, like, I mean, it's similar to it, but like the, what is it called? Emergency, like those like those hydration powder things. There's like an orange flavor. I thought it was going to be a little more like that. Thankfully, it's not. It's not like powdery. It doesn't taste powdery. But for $23, I think it's a nice twist on Jameson. It's definitely made for cocktails, but I'll take another sip of it. Yeah, it's not like overly sweet. It's not like a candy sweet. It's more of like a slightly bitter. It's almost like like orange bitters maybe. It kind of erases the Irish whiskey taste though. This kind of just tastes like an orange flavored vodka. Unfortunately, I think if it was up in proof, it might would have a little bit more impact there. But yeah, I think as a cocktail, it's fantastic. That's the way to go if you have Jameson Orange. But it's still, I like trying new products, and that was a fun one that I wanted to start with tonight because some of these are actually like, don't worry, it's not all a joke. Some of these are legit whiskeys. If you saw the thumbnail, you know that there's going to be some Irish whiskeys here, including the new Redbreast PX Cask. There's also a peated Irish whiskey, which will be fun. And I have the new Kentucky Owl St. Patrick's Day release that I know Perry just reviewed on his channel as well. I missed his review, so I have not. This will be my first impressions of this. This comes from our good friend Kathy. I'm not sure. I haven't seen her in the chat yet. But she heard that I was interested in trying this over on our Discord server. She was like, hey, I'll send you a sample. So thank you so much, Kathy, for this. By the way, if y'all want to be a part of our Discord community, I know a lot of you guys here are already, but you can go to bourbonbites.com, same way it's spelled here on my channel, and you can go to the Discord link there. It's different than the Wiscord, which is a great community as well. This is just for this community here. So you'll see some familiar faces there. Donald's there, Lil's there, Zopher is there. Man, there's a lot of people there. But if you aren't there, Don Nishida is there, Brandon is there, the whole gang's there. So come join us over on Discord if you're curious to get info on like what I'm doing up for upcoming streams. I tend to like ask around like, what do you guys want me to do? And Kentucky Owl St. Patrick's Day was one of the things. So thank you again, Kathy, for that sample. Man, I just want to keep sipping on this cocktail. I mean, to be fair, this is my first drink of the night. Actually, that's not true. I recorded my podcast literally 30 minutes ago for tomorrow because the new state of play for the new Hogwarts Legacy game came out today. It was a live stream showing off this new game. Have y'all heard about it? It's like an open world Hogwarts game. So excited for that, but I wanted to watch that before I did my podcast. So tomorrow's podcast is going to come out a little bit later than normal. I'm going to have to edit it after this, probably most likely in the morning before work. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I was so excited about that. I'm not going to spoil it, but definitely check out the podcast tomorrow if you're a Harry Potter fan. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oh, Tammy is in the house. Good to see you, Tammy. Cohen says I got my tooth glass ready for the whiskey and the Guinness Draught can and a pint of glass with my Candela Green Fuente Flor Fina. Oh, it's a cigar. I was like, I don't know what those words mean. Wow, you are going hard with the Irish tonight. Cheers to you, Cohen. Slancha. That sounds like an amazing night. Enjoy it. Not Zofer. Donnie's in the house. He said howdy. Did I say to be fair? Probably. I tend to say that a lot. So Perry's here. So Perry, I was saying I missed your I did not make it in time for your thoughts on Kentucky Owl. So no spoilers. I'm gonna give my first impressions of that here shortly. I have a few other whiskeys to get to first, but Yeah, Adriana, it is. So it was announced for PlayStation 5. However, I don't think they're gonna make this an exclusive. It looks so good. You gotta just go to like PlayStation's YouTube channel and watch like their little state of play thing they did of it. It's open world. You create your own character. You get the sorting hat. You go to Clash. You learn spells. I told you I said I wouldn't spoil it. I'm so excited. So excited. Okay. The whole podcast is just me rambling about how excited I am for this game. So should be a lot of fun. But I also reviewed Barrel Batch 32, which is on the podcast. So did have some whiskey with that. But other than that, this is my first real St. Patrick's Day pour. DC says, "What's up? You ready for round 2?" Well, this is just round 1 for me. So round 2 will be my hangout afterwards for my for my Patreon. But good to see you, DC. Oh wait, shit. You mean Matt Madness, don't you? Okay. I was like round 2. I was like, dang, I haven't been partying that hard, y'all. But yeah, so if y'all missed it, last Friday I surprisingly did well on Matt Madness, and I moved on to the next round. So tune in on it's April. Let me hold on. We just set the date for it. For the next round of Matt Madness, I'm going up against Kira from shelfturds/thewhiskeychannel.com, as well as Cameron Drums and Drams. It should be an awesome night. I'm just going to go see what date that was so I can let you guys know. It'll be another double header. I believe it'll be right after another stream. So it's a late night for those of you that don't typically stay up late. But this will be April 15th at 11 p.m. Eastern. So that's when the next round will be. Mark your calendars. I do have some training to do before then. I know Brandon's going to help me out. He's going to help me out with a blind flight sometime soon. So I'm looking forward to that. Man, y'all have been partying. Y'all are definitely on round 2 or round 3. I got some catching up to do. But so okay, I'm gonna set the cocktail over here. I do have a nice big ice cube in there, so that'll save for a while. Let me put it over here. As we get into more whiskey, now I'm realizing that I probably shouldn't have put Irish whiskey into my Glen because I think that's gonna like throw off my well, I have a backup glass. Let me just go ahead and finish this real quick and see it because I don't want to throw off my notes because some of these whiskeys I really want to give a detailed review on. Lil says up against Kira, tough round. It's gonna be tough. Kira and Cameron. I'm scared. Not that I wasn't scared of Perry and Brian, but it's gonna be tough. I'm very, very excited. I know some of you in the chat have let us know what you're drinking on, but if you haven't yet, let me know what you're drinking. Are you drinking Irish whiskey tonight? Or are you drinking Kentucky Owl? What's in your glass? Would love to hear what you guys are sipping on. Like I said, just getting my party started. I got a long way to go. We're gonna do our after party for Patreon right after this stream, so it should be a lot of fun. So let's go and move on. I think you know what? I'm glad I got a backup glass because I don't want to use this to review these whiskeys because it literally tastes like orange. So new glass. All right. So the order I was going back and forth because we have a peated one here, but it is lower proof. So I think I'm going to save the peated Irish for last and go ahead and move on to the most traditional, but also untraditional Irish I have here tonight. So that is an actually discontinued Irish whiskey. So this is the Irishman Founders Reserve. Let's see if it'll focus. Oh, come on. I think the light's messing it up. But so this is the Irishman Founders Reserve. This is now discontinued. But I'm wondering why. Oh, of course it focuses. You all saw that, right? It focused right before I pulled it away. They do have a new line of different whiskeys. This was the first one, though. This is a small batch. This was actually interesting. So it's unique because they are using a blend of 70% single malt and 30% single pot still. So they're combining those two together into this blend. It's something that's not traditionally done. Usually it's just one or the other. This is, what do we have here? It's a blend of malted and unmalted barley. I don't know if they do that with all their releases, but this is the way that it was made. The signature blend created by their founder, Bernard Walsh. That's kind of how when they founded the brand, that's what they wanted to do. I am very excited to try this. Now it is only, what's the ABV on this guy right here? It is only 40% ABV, so 80 proof. But it should be, they say it brings out more flavor the way they distill it. It's also triple distilled. We'll see though. Gotta go small since I only have one glass so far. Cohen, you're telling all my secrets. You're telling all my secrets. So indeed, this was on clearance. It was normally $40, but they put it for half price for $20. And I was like, oh, cool. That was actually the inspiration for this stream tonight. I was like, you know what? It'd be really fun to do an Irish whiskey stream that has like a twist, like not your traditional Irish whiskeys. Like, yes, it's Jameson, but Jameson orange. Yes, Redbreast, but Redbreast PX. So it's kind of the inspiration behind this, but yeah, I did get it for $20. So but I'm gonna hold it to that $40 standard. Now it is discontinued, so not that you can go out and buy it, but I thought it would still be fun to review. I'm curious if you guys have had any other Irishman products, because I've heard of them. I've seen they have like I think they have some other age dated ones. This one's not age dated, but it is 80% or 80 proof. So let's go and give it a nose. Ooh, interesting. We'll say it does have it has a bold nose for only being 80 proof. It's kind of like, it's not the best nose, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of like a mix of like cardboard and like wet dog a little bit, but there's some good earthiness there too. I think this is I think it's definitely the malt. The malt is what you're getting on the nose the most. It's grained forward in an interesting way, and typically I don't say grained forward with Irish whiskey. So I'm gonna have to, before I get too harsh on this, I'm gonna have to taste it. Sláinte. I'm not used to saying that. Okay, better on the palate. Before I give you my tasting notes, make sure to hit the like button. Thank you so much, Tammy. If you're enjoying this, if you like the twist on the Irish whiskey, if you're new here, welcome. Feel free to subscribe down below. I do bourbon reviews as well as other whiskeys and other spirits every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. So looking forward to doing more streams. I have quite the lineup for March and April. So I'm having at least 3 guests join me in the next few weeks. So it's going to be really, really fun. You'll want to stick around and stay tuned for those. Patreon, you'll get a list of those before everyone else. So if you want to be a patron, patreon.com/bourbonbites. For as little as $2 a month, you can support the channel. But yeah, I usually post my schedule when I have guests for them first, so they can keep up with that. So nothing says yum like wet dog. Well, I think it got a bit better on the palate. Oh, look at Joe coming in right on time. He says, for as little as $2 a month, you can support me on Patreon. Thank you. Yeah, become a member of our family, because we really are a family here. Also, what's up, Joe? Y'all go subscribe to Independent Joe's channel. I saw he was live with. You were live with someone earlier. Were you on Ken's channel? I saw you earlier, Joe. I don't know where you were. I popped in somewhere. I was like, why is Joe up this early? But yeah, let's go ahead to the tasting notes on the Irishman. So I think it's nice. It's definitely better than Jameson, standard Jameson, and Jameson Orange, honestly. It has a roundness to it. It's a similar flavor profile to like some Middleton whiskeys, but it has like a depth to it that at 80 proof I wouldn't expect. It's not spiky. I think Jameson's a little spiky, and I mean that like it's a little harsh. Sometimes I get like a metallic note on Jameson. This has like, I can kind of taste that there, but it's like well balanced, more balanced than Jameson. I was on Ken and Rock. Gotcha. Yeah, Ed was live for like 4 hours early. I was at work, so I couldn't watch, but I'll have to watch that replay. I will say for $20, this is a steal. Probably the best $20 Irish whiskey I've ever tried. Now, that's not the price. It's $40. And it's also discontinued. So I think it's a bit pricey for what it is at $40. However, I do like they're doing an interesting blend. Like I said, 70% single malt, 30% single pot still. They also say this contains 100% whiskey distillate from the copper pot still and 0% grain or column still whiskey. So it's a very unique. They say it's a more flavorsome whiskey. I do say that. I could say that as well. It's like a little more balanced. I just think $40 is a lot. There's a lot of Irish whiskeys that are 80 proof that are cheaper than that. So that's what I have to say about that. But Whiskey Nose says, I'm already drunk, so I apologize for any comments. Or he's already drunk. I don't know. One of the two. No worries, Marty. Good to see you. Yeah, that's a solid Irish whiskey. I'm curious to see the rest of their lineup, but yeah, it does have an interesting nose. More familiar palate, but very interesting nose. It's like I said, it's like a little bit earthy, a little bit, but very, very malty, I will say. Very good. All right, so Adam Free's in the house. Howdy, joining late, but walk through Green Spot, Montelena. Oh, I don't even know what that is. Sounds like a fancy wine. Probably is. Green Spot, Leoville, Barton. I imagine that's not Barton. Also sounds like a fancy wine. And Yellow Spot. I know that one. I know Yellow Spot. Very cool, Adam. Good to see you. Like I said, I'm getting caught up with you guys because a lot of y'all have been drinking for a while. So that's what tonight's about. Getting Cliffy O. I need to give myself a Irish last name, even though my last name is literally McDaniel. Like that's probably pretty Irish. But I'd like to have a little O in it, like Don O Nishida. So let's cleanse our palate a little bit. We've had a lot so far. And Irish whiskey is starting to make me a little frisky. So let's go ahead and move on to our special Irish whiskey of the night. This is actually a brand new release. I'm so excited to finally try. Y'all know I love Redbreast, right? I've done several streams about Redbreast Irish whiskey. Redbreast Irish whiskey. Redbreast Irish whiskey. Say that 5 times fast. But this is the brand new PX Cask Redbreast. So this is triple distilled and matured in the finest oak casks. So this one is part of the first release of their Iberian series. So with this one, they're trying to highlight the casks from the bodegas of Spain and Portugal, suffused with the natural warmth and sweetness of the Iberian Peninsula. So that's their goal with this, is to highlight those Spanish wines, and they're starting with PX Sherry. So I'm very, very excited to see how that affects Redbreast. Cohen says, I wish the PX was cast strength. That would be great, right? I wish. This was $90, so it's a bit pricey. It's also a bit hard to come by in my area. I got this from Mission Wine and Spirits. But here's the bottle. It is 46% ABV. So, like I said, not cast strength, but pretty pricey. So I am a fan of the Listau edition that's a standard release in their lineup. That's also significantly cheaper. I think that's like 50 or 60. So this is up there in price, but again, limited release, special edition. So I'm really excited to see how it does. So let's go and get that poured. Kathy is here. So Kathy, I gave you a shout out earlier. I have not drank the Kentucky Owl yet, so I will. I'm saving that. I was saving that until you could show up. So good to see you. So let me just finish off the rest of this Irishman. We're moving on to the Redbreast. So I'm so excited for this. Have you guys had a chance to try this yet, or have you seen it? Myself a nice Cliffy pour of that one, because I might have to pour more too. I was like, I'm really excited. Okay, so color wise, it's not that dark. I kind of expect it to be a little bit darker from those sherry casks. Do we know how long it was aged in them? Let's see. It was finished in the PX sherry cask. I don't think it lists how long it was finished. It says it was matured in bourbon and sherry cask before a finish in PX hogshead from Spain. So we don't know how long it's been finished. Typically, I wouldn't imagine much more than a few months at that color. But if anyone knows how long... Oh, wait, here we go. Ha. It's on the box. It says a minimum of 12 months. So I would think it's probably pretty close to that 12-month finish. But it's really interesting that they give you that info. So good to know. Tammy again with the super chat. Clifton needs more super chats. I'll do a shot of vodka. Really? Oh gosh. Imagine Tammy has been drinking already. So if y'all want to get Tammy needs a drunk name. Just call her Mama Tammy as her drunk name. Any super chats to come in, Tammy will do a vodka shot up till her limit. But Tammy, I can't wait to party with you in Vegas. I'm so excited. But yeah, super chats do help the channel. So thank y'all so much for that. So let's go and give this nose. Wisconsin says on TV, Kathy's message keeps repeating. Weird. Huh. No, it just showed up once for me. I only saw it once. That's interesting. I don't know. But let's go and give this a nose. Okay. It is interesting. It's it is fruit forward. It's got a little bit of like a funky sour tartness to it. Not that odd from, I know Perry was drinking Redbreast 27 tonight. I kind of got a weird funky note on that as well. This has a little bit of that. I don't know what to call it. It's like, I said like apricot, but I don't know. It's not people in my local group, when we did a blind tasting of Redbreast 27, we said it tastes like asparagus. So it's like a cross between apricot and asparagus. There's a little bit of that in there on the nose. It's very interesting. Oh, what's up, Stacy? I know Stacy was excited for the stream. I'm so glad you can make it. I was saying with Stacy last night, so good to see you. let me. I hear y'all going crazy on Discord, so I'm gonna close out of that real quick. But I'll catch up with the Discord chat right after the stream. Just don't want to go do all night. Let's see. What else did I miss? It showed up a lot on her TV too, but only once on her phone. That's weird. All engagement is appreciated. So there you go. I didn't see it on my end. It looked fine on my end. Cohen says, did I buy the Lagavulin Cast Strength limited edition from Mission today? I didn't. Well, I would say we had this conversation offline, but it was a very much like the way that the Mission works to get the special edition releases. You have to be like, if you are one of our top spenders, and I will be the judge of that, so email me and I'll let you know if you get a chance at buying it. That's how he runs his business. I mean, it's his business. That's how he wants to run it. I don't like that. So if it's anything like, yeah, shoot your shot, you can email me and we'll see if you're a good enough customer to get this bottle. But only a select few will be. I don't like that. That's just me personally. I think it's a messed up way to run a business. If you're going to offer it to your top customers, just offer it to them directly. Don't send an email to all of your like VIP customers. Be like, well, shoot your shot, see if you're good enough. That's how I take that. That's just, again, rant about a local store. I apologize. James is here. Evening. Cheers to you. Good to see you again. It's too. Yeah. I was hanging for a bit on Whiskey Eyes last night. Yeah, Emily does rock as a mod. She's incredible. Emily's awesome. As well as Brandon. And yeah, so let's go and give this a taste. I'm really curious to try the Redbreast PX. Cheers. Wow. Ooh. That's really interesting. For 46% ABV, that has a wealth of flavors. It starts out that bright red fruit, but then it gets dark, like plum, raisin. PX sherry. That's kind of what you get on like a good PX sherry. Wow. Did I just find my favorite Redbreast? Okay, not favorite. Some of y'all know in Southern California, there was that limited edition 14 year that came out a couple years back. That was also $100. That was my favorite, but it's also like long gone. This though is reminiscent. So that one was also highlighted the sherry. I don't know if it was PX, but they did a very special sherry focus on that one. This has some of that. It's for as light as it is, I'm getting so much of that rich sherry finish on it. Like I said, 12 months at least. I gotta go for a second sip of that one. So it's different from the Lestal finish one that I have because the Lestal is more like tropical. It's up front with the brighter fruits, like the more tropical, lighter fruits, like orange. There's a little bit of that there. This though gets real dark real fast, and I like that. I love a sherry bomb. This is what I've never had a sherry bomb of an Irish before, but this is pretty close to what I imagine that being. It honestly drinks higher proof than 46%. This is a fantastic Redbreast, especially if you're a fan at all of Redbreast. Give this a try. $90. I mean, I think it's worth it. I think it's so interesting and complex. Yes, I would have loved if it's cast strength. It would have been, better at the price point, especially. But I guess the only fault I would say, I think the proof is good. I do think it tastes a little young, and I don't know for sure the age of this one. There is no age statement on it. I do think it's a little grain forward for Redbreast. Redbreast, the 12-year, the 15-year, the 27-year-old. It's known for the really rich, intense Irish whiskey, but this kind of drinks like a little bit of a young Irish whiskey. That's the only flaw I would say. But however, I think what it lacks in age, it's made up with by that finish. It's such an interesting, complex finish. It's a little it's really sweet. So if you don't like sweet, you may not be a fan. I think it's like a little, it hinges on syrupy. It's not quite syrupy sweet, but it's really close to being syrupy sweet. But it keeps me coming back for more. I keep going in for now a third sip. That is really, really good. I like that a lot. Getting caught up in the chat, I saw Joseph Brazo's in the house. What's up, Joseph? Stacy says Redbreast PX is awesome. Well, I am thoroughly agreeing with you on that. Oh, that's so good. Swan is in the house. What's up, Swan? Good to see you. Cool 62 Chef is in the house. He's saying hey to Joseph, not me, but also hi. Good to see you. David Fields with this next super chat. Oh, you know what that means, Tammy? Time for a shot. Michelle and I are enjoying the Irish whiskey viewpoints. Thanks, Livy. Well, I'm glad to hear that, David and Michelle. Thank you for watching. And thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I feel like I miss out on Irish whiskey a lot. I enjoy it, but I feel like it often gets ignored, and I'm guilty of that as well, right? There's so many other bourbons and even scotches to try that I feel like I often forget about Irish whiskey as a category. But tonight's all about that, except the one bourbon. But other than that, all about Irish. But thank you so much for that. Thank you, Joe, for dropping the link to my podcast. Yeah, next episode is coming out tomorrow. It might be a little bit later than usual, but I'm looking forward to putting that out. Thank you so much, Joe. And then Whiskey Mountain's coming in for another Tammy shot. They said, agree with Tammy. Cliffy Bus deserves all the super chats. Salute. Thank you so much, Adriana. Yeah, I'm really nervous about the next round of Matt Madness. I think I did really well. I was surprised by how well I did the last round. I don't know if it'll be that easy the next round. I think he's gonna step things up a bit with round 2. But I'm very excited to participate again and maybe move on to the semifinals. Or is the next one the semi? I don't sports, y'all. I don't sports. So whatever the next bracket level is, I don't know. So I don't know what you got me, Brandon, but you got me. Thank you. So Cohen says I would have bought the Redbreast PX if it was cast strength at almost 100. For low ABV was a pass for me. I got 12 cast strength for 60. And Cohen, I get that. I think 12 cast strength is a fantastic deal, a fantastic buy. I actually just finished mine. I need to go back and get another one of those. Because I do love my Redbreast 12 cast strength. That has an age statement and it's cast strength. This, however, is going to be a limited edition series. They're going to put out more of these in the future. It is the first of the batch. I do encourage you to try it if you have a chance. You have a friend that has a bottle or whatever. I do think it's special, and I think it's worth the 90, but I also agree that the value-wise, the 12 cast strength is probably the best value in Irish whiskey. Cohen says, do you still have some from the Redbreast 14-year? I don't think so. I think I finished it. I might have it tucked away somewhere, but like if I do, it's just such a little bit because that was so good. So good. Yeah, more Madness training. Oh yeah, my Madness training. Thank you so much, Brandon. I'm looking forward to doing that. But yeah, I am loving this Redbreast PX. Now, I have come around to lower proof whiskeys. I think at one point, like literally within the past year, I was only drinking cast strength, and if it wasn't cast strength, I'm like, screw that, not for me. But I think trying more scotches, maybe even more Irishes, I'm learning that can be a lot of flavor in lower proof. It's just it's in American whiskey, lower proof is not necessarily as interesting as lower proof Scotch or Irish, if that makes sense. I think growing up on American whiskey, but in the world of American whiskey, I think I was kind of more of a proof whore in American, but when it comes to Irish or Scottish, I'm a little more open to the lower proofs. So let's finish off the Redbreast. Almost a whiskey shimmy for that one. That deserves a whiskey shimmy for you, Adriana. That's really good. I'm gonna come back to that bottle later tonight for sure. All right. So Whiskey Padawan is in the house. Whale oil beef hooked. I didn't know there was a PX Redbreast. Whale oil beef hooked. Is that an expression that I don't know? Well, oil beef. It's like, well, shiver my tenders. Well, oil beef hooked. Maybe, I don't know. But what's up, Juan? I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday at Brandon's. Should be a lot of fun. Unless you're cooking whale oil beef, because then that might be. I guess that's good. I don't know. I've never had whale oil anything. Hopefully, no whales were harmed in the making of the whale oil beef. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Let's move on to the next whiskey, which is I'm going to save the peated Irish for last. I don't want to blow my palate before I have a chance to try this amazing sample from the incredible Kathy in the chat. Shiver my tenders. Shiver, whatever. The you know what I'm talking about, Donnie. I was just confused. All right, so like we said earlier, Kathy sent me a sample of this Kentucky Owl St. Patrick's Day 100 proof. I've been so curious about this bottle. If you saw it, it was in the thumbnail. I'm sorry. Shiver me tender. What does it say? Shiver me timbers. Did I say tenders? Oh man, Cliffy doesn't know his expressions. He's got to brush up on that. I definitely didn't mean to say tenders. I meant to say timbers. It may have come out. I mean, chicken tenders do sound pretty amazing. What's up, Donner Pass? Good to see you. Shiver me timbers. That's what I said, I swear. I don't know. Cliffy may have said tenders. He may be a little hungry. Brendan does say the bottle is still available everywhere. Yeah, that's why I'm excited to um, see how I like it. Because if I like it, I may go pick up one. Kathy says lots of mixed reviews on that bottle. I'm curious to see what you think. Me too. I'm very curious. I have not heard any like full reviews. I don't have a way to rinse out my glass. It's gonna make a mess. There we go. It does a little bit. Just to make sure I give it a fair opinion. Shiver my timbers, said the pirate from the south. That's not Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders, if he was a pirate. Well, shiver my timbers. Gotta have a finger looking good. No. Oh man, I miss my Colonel Sanders gaming days. All right, this is just water. I'm just rinsing the glass. By the way, we're about halfway through, so make sure y'all have hit the thumbs up so far if you're enjoying the show. We do have 2 more whiskeys to drink, but I have a feeling I'm going to go back to that Redbreast by the end of the night. So, yeah. So, makes you sound Irish. Sorry. Well, I'll be. Oh wait, what? What was it? What was it again? Well, oil be. Oh my gosh, I love it. I was very confused. Well, oil be fucked. Thank you for that explanation, Juan. I was so confused. So, all right. So this is $100 MSRP. About sometimes it's more expensive depending on where you're getting it, but it's about 100 here. I think it's 90 at Costco. This is a new release from Kentucky Owl out of Kentucky, obviously. Now this one is a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys aged 4 to 11 years old. So there's some older whiskey in here. Now I don't know if we're supposed to know this, but Mission listed what's actually in this bottle. So I'm just gonna read from the website. Y'all don't judge me if this is wrong or if I'm not supposed to talk about this, but they say that this is using roughly 40% of a 4.5-year-old Bardstown Bourbon Company whiskey, wheated bourbon actually. So it's 40% of a 4.5-year-old wheated bourbon. The rest is Heaven Hill, which is the oldest component, Peerless, and other Kentucky Owl stocks, as well as the standard Bardstown Bourbon Company rye bourbon mash bill. So I don't know if we're supposed to know that. That's just on their website. So I'm just reading. You may have heard it here first. I don't know. But that's what they say on the website. But let's make this clear. This is not an Irish whiskey. This is a bourbon. It was a bourbon blended through the Irish eyes. So the mastered blender over at Kentucky Owl, who I actually don't know their name. I don't have the bottle. Is it something Rhea? Ray? RHEA. I'm sorry, I don't know their name offhand. They actually collaborated with, I think it's Louise McGowan. Louise McGowan sounds like an Irish name. So she is an Irish whiskey bonder in Ireland. So what she does is she contracts whiskey from different distilleries, also sourcing her own barrels, then fills and aging them in her own warehouse to create her own unique expressions. So very, very interesting. I need to do a little bit more research on her and how to get her whiskey because that sounds really cool. So this is a Kentucky Owl collaboration with her that they blended this with Irish whiskey in mind. So they aimed for a more fruit-forward Irish whiskey style that appeals to what she typically goes for with her whiskeys, but still having a Kentucky Owl bourbon profile. Well, I don't know what that is yet, so I'm very curious to see. I've never actually had a Kentucky Owl bourbon other than Confiscated, so I'm really curious to see how this one is. All right, so Swan says, I have a bottle kill of the Redbreast Cask Strength. This after stream hangout is going to be rough. Oh man, Swan, I can't wait. So for those of you who don't know, we do an after party hangout for all patrons, $10 and up. Speaking of which, we have a new $10 patron. I want to give a quick shout out to Nick the Greek for becoming the $10 level Bourbon Megabyte. Nick, I hope to see you at the after party tonight. If not, hopefully sometime soon. And everyone else at the $10 level, thank y'all so much for your continued support. Tonight should be a good one because I'm going to be drinking a lot. It sounds like Swan is too. All right, let's go and give this Kentucky Owl St. Patrick's Edition a nose. Ooh, that is a really good nose. It is fruity. Interesting. It's light. The oakiness of it is very young. I would say it's like a young oakiness. So more of I always say fresh chopped wood, Home Depot note. Y'all have heard me say. It does have a little bit of that. It does have a corn graininess, I think. You can smell that this is a corn. I mean, it's a bourbon, right? Independent Joe says it's technically a 4 grain, with the mash bill. That is true. So we know it's a wheated bourbon from Barstow Bourbon Company, as well as the high rye bourbon from Barstow Bourbon Company. So definitely $4 grand. That's really interesting. Tammy's looking for the next super chat so she can take another shot. Well, if y'all feel inclined, any amount. She has no filter there. Let's go in. This nose is really intriguing me. I'm really excited to try it. Cheers. Sláinte. Oh no, it's back to bourbon. Cheers. I will say, if you wouldn't even have to tell me that that's Barstow Bourbon Company. I can tell that's their whiskey. They use that in a lot of like their Discovery series, their Fusion series, as well as their new American Highway Reserve, the Brad Paisley collaboration. This tastes very, very similar to that. Now that one had some younger whiskey blended in it as well. This, okay. I'm not going to judge it yet. I'm going to go for another sip. Joseph said apparently Tammy gets his money. No, Tammy doesn't get the money. Tammy's just doing shots every time I get super chats. So cheers to you, Tammy. Tammy, I wish I should have sent you the StreamYard link so you could come on here, do the shots. A little late for that now, but hey, I trust you. Come to the after party. I want to see the Tammy after this. I love how much Tammy's trying to get drunk tonight and support Cliffy in the process. Tammy always supports me. She's been one of the first supporters of the channel. So Tammy and Brian are awesome. I'm sure Brian's asleep. That's why Brian's definitely asleep. That's why Tammy's going crazy with the pours. Brian wouldn't let that happen. Doesn't matter. I'm enjoying it. I need another sip before I give a judgment on that. You can really taste that 4-ish-year-old Barstow Bourbon Company. Like I said, 40% of this is that. It's pretty apparent that it's young. And I was expecting a little bit more from the older, like I said, Heaven Hill. Not really picking up on any older vibes here. Splash it in my eye, why don't I? Okay, now I want to know y'all's thoughts. Now that I gave my first impressions, having not heard anyone else's thoughts on this one, what do y'all think? Have y'all tried this Kentucky Owl St. Patrick's Edition? I think it's a really weird release. I mean, like St. Patrick's Edition, that has nothing to do with bourbon. So I'm really curious, Kathy, what did you think of this one? Also, those of you that watch Perry's stream, what did Perry think of this one? I don't know. I'm not loving it. I mean, this isn't a diss on Barstow Bourbon Company's younger distillate. They're doing some great stuff there. But this is $100. It's 100 proof. It's $100. And when you're getting that primarily young whiskey note from the Barstow Bourbon Company, this doesn't drink like $100 whiskey. That's how I feel. And it crushes me because I really had high hopes for this one, especially at $100. I thought, oh, come on. They're not going to pull another Confiscated. This is no way there's going to be another Confiscated. I think this one's worse than Confiscated. Honestly, y'all know I made a video of Confiscated and it just did not live up to my expectations. I've never had a Kentucky Owl bourbon ever other than Confiscated. I've had some of their ryes that are really good. This isn't doing it for me. It's honestly disappointing me a lot. David says, drink Tammy. Thank you for the super chat. And also drink Tammy. Joseph is susceptible to peer pressure. Just want to make sure. You know what? Swan, I was checking. So Swan, Tammy, you got another shot to do. Swan sent me a super chat. So cheers to you, Swan. Thank you so much. He says, keep being you. Thank you so much. Tammy, another hatch, girl. So Perry said he also thought it was weird, but liked it the more I went back to it. Okay. I'm not, I think it's okay. Kathy says, personally, Joe and I thought it was okay, but the Bourbon Junkies thought it was crushable. Joe put out a review of it today. Oh, Joe, I got to go check that out. I thought it was okay. Let it sit in my glass. You know what? I'll let it sit. And I'll pour a little bit more of it. I'll come back to this one. I'll go back to my cocktail before this, but I'm going to let that sit a little bit more. Agreed, Joseph. Confiscated is a wonderful $40 to $50 whiskey. 100% agree with that. $100 to $120. Biggest. okay, some of y'all know this story, but when Confiscated came out, $100 was the most I'd ever spent on a whiskey. I'd never spent that much before, but I had heard so much raving about Dixon Deadman, who was the blender at the time. It was his brand, and people were saying, "Oh, you gotta try Confiscated." Bought it for $100, regretted it instantly. It honestly drank like a good $40 to $50 bourbon. So I never bought expensive whiskey again till the next like year, till I got into like some of the more chances to get like Thomas H. Handy, and then I had a Wild Turkey Master's Keep, which is also more expensive, and those lived up to the expectation. This though did not. So it's sitting in my glass. Scott says let it sit in your glass. I'm gonna let it sit there for a little bit. Adam says I'm actually enjoying it. Mine's been open a week and it has a bit of funk that I enjoy. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll leave it in the glass. I'll come back to it in here in a bit. In a bonnet. In a bonnet. Kathy says, truthfully, we would have not bought it if we had tried it first, especially for the price. Taste is okay. Price is way too high. Save your money. Well, Kathy, that's why I want to say thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to try it. I mean, hey, it may have been, not worth it, but hey, hopefully you get some enjoyment out of watching me try it, right? And you've been able to share it with other people too, I think. So thank you so much for the opportunity. I think it is interesting, and it's, again, if it's a $40 to $50 whiskey, I'd be a lot more happy about it. It'd be in that fusion range that we tried, the younger Barstow Bourbon series. I would see it in line with that. I don't see it being much better than that. Tammy says, Cliffy is my boy. He has a palate. Trust the Cliffy. Yeah, we have never tried Confiscated, so can't compare. I think Confiscated was a little bit better. Honestly, you could taste a little bit more of the older whiskey in it. I don't think they used Barcelona Bourbon Company with Confiscated. I think it was actually just a blend. It was a lot. I think there was probably Barton in there. They did have some younger stuff in there too, but it didn't taste as young. This tastes a little bit younger. Brandon says, don't forget about the 24-year Heaven Hill that I bought. What about it? Like, I'm not going to forget about it. I know I have it, but like, what you're talking about, like in terms of like old? Oh, you're talking about like price, right? No, I'm talking about like in that year. I've since bought more expensive whiskey. Sorry, sort of clarified. But up until that point, Confiscated was the most expensive bourbon I'd ever bought. James said, I'll stick to Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Not a bad choice at all. Cohen says, I pass on a total. I'm a fan of Total Wine. ECBP 10-year pick last week because I don't trust them, and it was $88.99. Well, Cohen, I have one of those on the way to me. A friend picked one up for me. I think it wasn't the most recent one. I think it was actually was it an 11-year-old that they did first? I had a friend pick one up for me, but I haven't tried it yet, so I can't speak to that. But I would not pass up on Logic Barrel Proof pick, but that's just me. I'm a bit of a fanatic with Logic Barrel Proof. Been excited to see stream all week. Oh, I'm glad to try it, Kathy. I'm going to come back to it. I'm let it sit for a minute. I'm going to go back to my cocktail for a bit. We got 10 more minutes here. Tammy needs another shot, y'all. Just kidding. Nah, you don't have to super chat, but it does support the channel, and I appreciate it so much. Seriously, y'all are awesome. And Patreon and everyone that's, however you support me, whether you're just here week to week, you listen to the podcast, you're a patron, you're a Bike Club member, get access to some Cliffy emojis. I just love y'all. And sometimes lately I've been kind of feeling a bit down about like my YouTube channel. Not that like, I'm not enjoying it. I'm still having a ton of fun. It's just like, I felt like I've kind of stagnated a bit, and I'm really trying to find ways to make it new and interesting and exciting. That's why I booked some amazing guests coming up. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the show, and you guys are, I love that you guys come back week to week. It really does mean a lot to me. So cheers to y'all. You know what? This needs more whiskey. I'm just gonna add more Jameson orange to it. I was gonna say I would add like a cask strength, but I don't have any cask strength Irish on me. Definitely don't want to waste a Redbreast on that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more Jameson orange to that. Maybe muddle my orange peel just a little bit more. I saw Don Nishida came in with the Tammy Chug fun. Well, here, Tammy. I'll join you on this one. Thank you, Don, and thank you everyone in the super chat so far. We said chuggable earlier. This is dangerous. I could bring this to like the beach and just drink out of this. It'd be nice iced. Honestly, like I've never chilled my whiskey. This in the freezer. You know what? Jameson cold brew I put in the freezer too. This in the freezer. Just like bring it to the beach, have some ice with you, pour it on the rocks. Oh my gosh. I think I found my new favorite springtime beach trip whiskey. Usually I bring like Wild Turkey 101 to the beach, which I think is a bad idea because it's like you don't want to like burn inside while you're like burning on the outside. I need something lighter and refreshing, and that's actually really good for that purpose. Whiskey Mountain said a bit high for an ECBP. I know a pick, but weird to me. Love Utah's 8-year pick more than our 10-year pick. Wow, really interesting. I thought y'all didn't get picks, Adriana. Don't you? Didn't you say y'all don't get picks? Oh wait, Utah. I thought y'all didn't get picks. Maybe I'm mistaken. Whiskey Padawan said, "I commiserate with you, Cliffy. I was part of that confiscated group buy. Yeah, we had heard so many good things, and it was a bit of a letdown for us." I did see that they put the JP Wisers for 314. It's almost like when they put benchmark for like $1.99 or something like stupid low like that. I do appreciate that getting through stock. And Swan says, "I love supporting you by Venmo. You deserve 100% of that moolah." Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, either way you guys choose to support, it does help. I mean, I like featuring super chats, but also like, I mean, yeah, Venmo is the more direct way to support the show. By the way, I've gotten a couple questions lately about challenge coins. If you guys are interested in a challenge coin, I don't know why I'm plugging it right now, but you mentioned Venmo. So these are my Bourbon Bites challenge coins. They are metal. They are beautiful. They are based off of old arcade tokens. Why is my focus being so bad today? There we go. So they are metal challenge coins. They say no mash value on the back. They're very heavy too. They fit over your Glencairn, which I don't want to hold it up to the camera and drop it, but here, let me try it. Please don't drop this. So they cover your Glen. They keep the whiskey nice and contained. If y'all are interested in a Bourbon Bite Challenge coin, you can just Venmo me at CliftonMCDNL. I'll put it down in the chat. $18 if you're in the continental U.S., and I will ship you a challenge coin. I know I cut the price on them a good bit just because I have a lot of them left over, and I don't want to just be stuck with them. So because it costs me like $5 to ship them to you, so like, and then it costs me money to make them. So I've really cut it down to the lowest I can actually sell it to and ship it to you guys. So if y'all have always been interested in one, you've never gotten one, like I said, you can Venmo me at CliftonMCDNL, $18, and I will get one of these out your way. So just want to a little plug that real quick, just since we're on the topic of Venmo. I want to get it added to Facebook, like Marketplace, or not Marketplace, but Facebook, my Facebook page. Just haven't figured out how to do that yet. Why does that not focus? It's focusing on the writing on my shirt, I think is what it's doing. Come on. Oh, well, y'all saw it. Oh, there we go. Not much value. I love these coins. They're so fun. All right, so we got about 5 minutes left. I'm going to return to this whiskey in the glass. I'm going to return to Lil. I do still have yours. Don't worry. I have it with your, I think it's Maker's Mark samples I packed for you like 2 years ago. I don't even know if they're still good. Hopefully they haven't all just leaked out. I mean, even if they have, it's just Maker's Mark. You won that sample set, Lil, like when I was just starting my channel. So like it was like basic stuff. I don't even know what it was, honestly. I might need to open that. But yeah, Lil, y'all, I got two held for y'all. We have something exciting to talk about this weekend. It involves your channel. Oh, okay, Brandon. Nice little teaser there. Apparently, we got something exciting to talk about. Tammy says, "Isn't this channel stellar? Tell your friends, come back for more." Oh, thank you, Tammy. Okay, so I'm going to return to this Kentucky Owl. It's been sitting for, a few minutes. Let's see if I enjoy it a bit more now that I'm over the initial shock, right? Oh my god, I still have a peated Irish whiskey to do. Holy crap. Okay. Let's I thought we were done, but we still got one more. Let me go for this again. Y'all are right. Similar to like a Booker's, this does take a minute to open up. I think once it sits a little bit more, once it kind of, I've been swirling it as much as possible. The youthfulness isn't as apparent. It still tastes pretty there. Like I said, it still tastes pretty there. That makes no sense, but go with it. It did improve a bit. Still think it tastes like a $40 to $50 whiskey. It's not bad by any means. Just twice as much as it should be. And twice as much, that's a lot. That's saying a lot. Twice as much. Like sometimes I'll say something like, "Oh, that's $20 too expensive," or that's, $10 too expensive, but that's $50 too expensive or more, depending where you get it. So, yeah, it's really nice to try, and it's a good blend. It's just overpriced. And thank you again, Kathy. Seriously, I appreciate the opportunity to try this. But we have one more whiskey tonight. Almost forgot about it because I was saving it for last. This is Connemara. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Peated single malt Irish whiskey. So we're jumping back down to 80 proof. So I didn't know if I want to save this to the end, but I was like, since it's peated, I don't want to like blow my palate. This was $43. Now this isn't age day. There is a 12-year edition. This is just the regular one right here. Now they were the first peated Irish whiskey. Now there's something, their website still says we're the only peated Irish whiskey. I'm like, Teeling came in and did that too, but they were the first. So I give them credit where credit's due. But they use let's see what they have here. See what they say. It's inspired by the 18th century art of drying malted barley over peat fires. Connemara possesses a distinct peaty flavor and aroma, instilling a delicate smokiness and smooth taste. Sorry, I chugged that a little bit too quickly. Connemara cask strength. Ooh, okay. That sounds like really good. So let's go and get this pour. Like I said, $43 is a bit expensive. I think Teeling Black Pits is pretty pricey too. I think it's a little bit higher proof though. So live wire is going live tonight. Okay, cool. I will wrap up right on time then. Got like 3 minutes left, so I'll rush through this one. So on the nose, it does have some smokiness. It's not quite like Lagavulin or Lafroig peatiness. It's a little bit it's a nice blend. It's smoky and ashy, but not what do you say? Not like a medicinal peat, because sometimes peat is like tastes a little bit like burning hospital is what I like to say sometimes, which is awful. Like the thought of it's awful, but yeah, I think this has it has a little bit of that like Jameson kind of metallic kind of note on the nose. So I'm really curious to see if it follows through with the taste. Sláinte. Very delicate peat. So again, we're going back down to 80 proof. This has a nice light. That's actually really nice. I'll be honest. I've already tried this a little bit. I did it on our tasting with Todd Cooper. Since he's the top tier patron, he gets access to my monthly subscription box. If y'all are interested in that, that's the $50 tier, where you get samples every month, where I send you my new and favorite things that I've experienced this month. I got to get his box ready for this month. So I haven't sent that out yet. If y'all are thinking about joining, now's the time to do it because I'm going to prepare to ship that out early next week. So, but yeah, I remember Todd and I tried this, and I think we thought it was interesting. We think the 80 proof was the only letdown here. It has a nice balanced flavor profile. It has the fruity, like shortbread kind of notes that you love about Irish whiskey. But then it also has like a light, delicate smokiness. If you're okay with just a little bit of peat, I think you'll really enjoy this. If you're someone that like hates peated whiskey, you may not like this. It's more of like a smoky, ashy kind of peat versus like the meaty, like darker peats, or even like the funky, like earthy peats that you get on some other scotches. So honestly, that's very. We're talking about chuggable. That's chuggable. I could sip on that for a while. It's complex enough. It's more complex than like a basic like Johnny Walker Red or a Monkey Shoulder. It has more complexity to that because it is it is still a single malt, but it has the same level of smokiness that kind of like Johnny Walker, even Johnny Walker Black has. I like Johnny Walker Black actually, their 12-year. I like that like light smokiness that has. It's similar to this. Think of that combined with like a Jameson, and it's like really well rounded working together. That's what this is. This Connemara peated Irish whiskey is very good. I think $43 is a bit pricey. I would love to try the cask strength of the aged data ones. Those might be a little bit more worth it. I think I would buy this a bit more if it were like 30, 35, maybe max. 43 is a bit much in my opinion, but it's very interesting. It's very unique. Emily says we love the community here. Absolutely. I love you guys so much. Thank y'all for sticking around and trying these whiskeys with me. I'm so glad that I got to go through all of them. Favorites obviously were my beloved Redbreast. This PX, this is gonna last a while. Brandon, I'm debating if I should bring it. Brandon, do you like Irish? I forget. If you like Irish, I can bring this to our meetup on Saturday. But I don't remember if you like Irish or not. So yeah, I'm going to be sharing it with select friends because I don't want to go too quickly because it is a pretty expensive pour. But everyone else, thank y'all so much for watching. Hopefully you're having a very safe and happy St. Patrick's Day. If you're planning to go to a party after this, we're having an after party that's virtual, not anywhere else. If you are going to a party tonight and you're hanging with friends, please, 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 Uber home or get a friend to drive you home if you drink too much. I know it's tempting to be like, it's fine. It's a short drive home. I'll be fine. Just please be safe, be responsible, but have a good time too. So thank y'all so much for watching. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Top of the morning to you. What are all the things we can say? I don't know. But most of all, cheers and thank you. Hope Tammy's doing okay after all those shots. We'll find out. But cheers. I will see y'all next Thursday. So there's one or two streams that are happening next Thursday. Okay, I'll tease y'all. Those of you that stuck it out to this end. So I actually Barton just announced the new editions of their Thomas S. Moore finished whiskeys. So I did a stream last year of the first 3 that they came out with. They announced 4 new ones coming out. So they're actually sending me samples of those. So if those arrive before next Thursday, that might be my stream. I'm actually really excited to try those. But if I don't get that, then my backup plan or my number one plan, we'll see how it goes, is to do a spring break themed stream. So I bought a bunch of Captain Morgan pre-mixed cocktails in the freaking handles. They were on sale at, I think, Mission, or something. They were literally like $12 for a handle of a pre-mixed Mai Tai, a pre-mixed fruit punch, and a pre-mixed, I think, Long Island iced tea. So if you want to see Cliffy get turned next week, make sure to tune into that. I'll also be doing a barrel pick with Jason from the Mash and Drum. They're so kind to invite me onto their channel to do a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof bourbon pick. So I will be joining Jason and Scott, the Mash and Journey, for that pick. That'll be next Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. We'll be doing that pick. And then after, I will be doing either the Cliffy gets drunk on spring break stream or the Barton stream. We'll see. Depends what we get. But thank y'all so much. Yes, prayers and thoughts for Lil as she goes into surgery or goes into treatment, and it's not necessarily surgery, but goes into her treatment tonight. Y'all think of her. Keep her in thoughts. But until next time, this has been Bourbon Bites Whiskey Reviews with a gaming twist. Podcast out tomorrow talking about the new Harry Potter game. But until then, I'll see y'all next live stream. And then I'll see the rest of y'all in the hangout. So have a good one. Bye.